hour for sleep.
That's right.
Just a little bit. Get up and go to work. Find something to do. It make you lazy. Make you don't want to work, man. You get too much sleep. Go ahead.
Yet a little 33. Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep.
Yes, sir.
So shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and thy want as an armed man.
He said, so shall your poverty come because you sleeping. And he said right here, and thou want as an armed man. What do you mean by that? This person come up and try to rob you. He want the things that you have. This is how a lazy man would be. He want to come up and rob you for what you got. Always coveting the things that you have. And people got to realize that. I shouldn't put that on the thing. What we at now? 34? Okay. Let's go to Exodus chapter 20. Let me show you something. Exodus 20. Part of the commandment. God gives us all the same opportunity to get wealth or to take care of our family, whichever one it is. And you ain't got to have much. You got to be able to survive this thing. And most times people want stuff that everybody else has, or they want that person's stuff. You don't supposed to have that mentality. I was supposed to have that mentality. Exodus chapter 20, we're going to start at verse 17. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's.
This is the mentality of a person in a bad economy. Boy, if that was my husband, I'd be living good. And looking at your husband. Boy, that was my wife, I'd be living good. And looking at your wife. They don't want a wife like yours, they want your wife. They want your house. They want your car. They looking at, that's coveting. You desiring somebody else's things. This is like, you can't survive in a bad economy like that now. You look at a person, man, I sure wish I had a wife like him. I sure wish I had a husband like her. It's okay to do that. Or a car, a house, clothes, whatever. But you want their stuff? No, that mentality wrong. Now you sinning if you thinking that way. I'm sinning if I'm thinking that way. Don't covet. That's all I'm saying. You desiring somebody else, wife or husband or things. You want their stuff. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 31. We get to the things that a woman can do. She got to learn how to survive in a bad economy because most of our women don't have men to help them. Most of our women helping the men most of the time. Because these cats can't get right. The women got to know how to survive too. Believe me. Women head up majority of the Hebrew households. A lot of them. But this is what you can do, woman. From this example right here. Proverbs chapter 31, verse 10. When you get it, brother, go ahead.
Who can find a virtuous woman?
Ask me a question. Who can find a virtuous woman? That's someone who's is rare. She rare. Go ahead.
For her price is far above rubies.
This is above rubies, above money. You find that woman, she gonna do her thing. Go ahead.
The heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil.
So the heart of her is so trusting her, ain't worried about no food in that refrigerator, food in the house. She gonna take care of that. Go ahead.
She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life.
This is the characteristic of a virtuous woman. She prepares. I'm gonna show you how she prepares, even in a bad economy. Go ahead.
13. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands.
She ain't lazy. She's sewing. If she had to sew or she had to go and buy stuff, she had to do anything. She making sure her household is equipped with everything it needs. Go ahead.
14. She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from afar.
So she got stuff stocked up. Just in case a family come over and say, look, we need some food. She got stuff like, go in the refrigerator and get that and this and that. She prepared that part for her and her neighbor. But it ain't affecting her household. That's the overflow. This is what a virtuous woman can do. This is what women, this is an example for women can follow in your household in a bad economy. She got stuff stored up as a merchant. Go ahead.
15. She rises also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household and a portion to her maidens.
She ain't laying in the bed, she cooking. She taking care of the business of the house. Go ahead.
She considereth the field and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planted the vineyard.
So we tell this woman got enough money to buy some land? Wait a minute, how much money you got to buy some land? It ain't just for men to buy land. You supposed to have some bread too. Go ahead.
17. She girdeth her loins with strength, and strengtheneth her arms.
Yes, sir.
She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night.
Like I say, her candle don't go out because it's dog. She still up handling the business of the house.
Amen.
She still up handling other people's business too. But a lot of people there, oh shit, my dog, let me go to sleep. No, not her. She staying up trying to handle business. Go ahead.
19. She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff.
It's just like a sewing machine. She got a skill in her hand. She can do stuff with a sewing machine. That's all a spindle is. What they call it, crocheting and all that, to make different things. This woman had a skill. She got a gift, whichever way you want to call it. Go ahead.
20. She stretcheth out her hand to the poor. Yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy.
She stretches her hand to the poor. She reaches her hand to the needy. She sees somebody that needs something. She said, hey, there's some money right here. Ain't gonna get close to you. It's on the ground right here. Come and get it. Right off. Hey, you want something? I'm gonna leave it on the windshield under the windshield wiper. You ain't gotta have no dealings with them. There's many ways you can give somebody something without having dealings with them. You just gotta be creative in your mind. You gotta hold on conversation. Boom and there. Go ahead. Go ahead.
21. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet.
She made sure she got all her people, all her husband, her kids, they had scarlet. Clothes. She had clothes. So when it was cold, they was prepared. Go ahead.
She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple.
See, I told you she got making things with her hand. Silk and purple, that's an expensive linen. What you clothes. Go ahead.
23. Her husband is known in the gates, when he sitteth among the elders of the land.
She ain't finna marry no sucker. She ain't gonna marry no drunk. She ain't gonna marry she gonna marry somebody about some business. Say her husband known in the city. He respected. This is what you gotta have, women, in a bad economy. Go ahead.
24. She maketh fine linen, and selleth it, and delivereth girdles unto the merchant.
She got a business. She's selling. She got merchandise. This is the woman you need to define, man. This is a virtuous woman right here. It ain't all about that pretty stuff. That hair, that butt, them breasts and all that stuff. That stuff gonna get old, man. You gonna look at her and say, that's a bill. That's all you know how to do. You can't help me. All you do is look good. You don't need that. I'm telling you. The Bible gonna tell you that in a minute. Go ahead.
25. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come.
Yes, sir.
She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness.
This is what this woman does. She got wisdom in her mouth. She got no foolishness in her mouth and talking crazy stuff. Go ahead.
She looketh well to the ways of her household.
Looking well to who?
The ways of her household.
She makes sure she take care of home first. She don't give no respect to others. More so she give respect to her house. You got a lot of women out there who respect their boss. You got a lot of women who respect their authority figure over their husbands. Go ahead.
And eateth not the bread of idleness.
And she's not idle. She getting the job done. She don't have wasted time. Go ahead.
28. Her children arise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praiseth her.
See, when they run it right like that, her children say, Mama, we glad you are mama. Even her husband said, I'm glad I married you. Boy, looking at all the rest of them cats that I could have married, I'd have been messed up. Go ahead.
29. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all.
Now this woman right here, she sells them all. I want to know who this is. I want to ask God in the first verse, who is this woman you be talking about right here? This just a goal right here. This is a goal to find somebody like this. She will help you in a bad economy. She'll be your eyes and ears in the household. Make sure it run right. You need this. Go ahead.
Verse 30. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain. But a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised.
You see what God say about all that beauty? You worry about that beauty. God looking at that as being vain, mean evil. He ain't caring about that. Like I said before, a woman be looking good, you gotta take care of that. She ain't got no skills, that's a bill. Find a woman who got some skills, who can do more than one thing. You're gonna need some help in this world right here. She's a help me. Go ahead.
31. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates.
See, when a woman do righteously, her own words gonna praise. She ain't gotta say nothing. She be walking in the gate. Hey, Miss So-and-so. Hey, Miss So-and-so. That's a good one, man. That's a good one. They gonna speak good of her. Now, oh man, here she comes. Let's get out of here. You don't want to be that kind of woman. Let me show you a good example of that woman, that Proverbs 31 woman. Let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 25. This is the last one. Just a good example of it. We got to learn how to survive. And we got to get our skills down. When we're looking at these people have many streams of income. They weren't just locked down on one thing. You got to know how to shake, rattle, and roll in this world. Most of all, prepare for the bad time. Just look at a woman, Abigail. She was a good example.
Amen.
1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 3. Well, she had an old foolish husband, though. God fixed that. Verse 3, go ahead.
Now the name of the man was Nabal, and the name of his wife Abigail. And she was a woman of good understanding, and of a beautiful countenance. But the man was churlish and evil in his doings, and he was of the house of Caleb.
See? So this woman right here had a good understanding. You know what I'm saying? And she was beautiful. So you get two for the price of one. Then you got this man who she married, he was foolish. Wasn't doing his job as a man of God, just foolish. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And David heard in the wilderness that Nabal did shear his sheep.
Yes, sir.
And David sent out 10 young men, and David said unto the young men, Get you up to Carmel, and go to Nabal and greet him in my name. And thus shall ye say to him that liveth in prosperity, Peace be both to thee, and peace be to thine house, and peace be unto all that thou hast.
Now David telling his servant, go meet Nabal and be in peace. Come peacefully for him, because he's going to ask him for something. Go ahead.
And now I have heard that thou hast shearers. Now thy shepherds which were with us, we hurt them not, neither was there aught missing unto them, all the while they were in Carmel.
He said, now we heard you have shearers, you got cattle. We want some cattle, something to eat. We protected you all this time. Go ahead.
Verse 8. Ask thy young men, and they will show thee. Wherefore let the young men find favor in thine eyes. For we come in a good day. Give, I pray thee, whatsoever cometh to thine hand unto thy servants and to thy son David.
He said, look, man, you give to David because he protected you all. He protected your whole little kingdom here. But Nabal, he about crazy. Go ahead.
9. And when David's young men came, they spake to Nabal according to all those words in the name of David and ceased. And Nabal answered David's servants and said, Who is David?
Disrespect off the jump. David ain't somebody to play with. He'll kill you quick. It's like, who is David? Go ahead.
And who is the son of Jesse? There be many servants nowadays that break away every man from his master.
See, he disrespect the whole bloodline of Israel.
Sure is.
Disrespect it. Go ahead.
Verse 11. Shall I then take my bread and my water and my flesh that I have killed for my shearers and give it unto men whom I know not whence they be?
He talks some big talk. Go ahead.
So David's young men turned their way and went again and came and told him all those sayings.
He told him what David said. This is what David did. Go ahead.
And David said unto his men, gird ye on every man his sword.
He said, mount up.
Yes, sir.
Mount up, regulators. He trying to go bust some heads. David don't play. He'll kill you in a split second.
He will.
Go ahead.
And they girded on every man his sword.
Yes, sir.
And David also girded on his sword. And there went up after David about 400 men, and 200 are bold by the stuff.
So he comes up there with a small army to take this whole, they brought a whole little kingdom down. All because of the food now. Disrespect. Now now Abigail was very smart. This is why you gotta make sure you have the right woman with you. Okay. Go ahead, brother.
14. But one of the young men told Abigail, Nabal's wife, saying, behold, David sent messengers out of the wilderness to salute our master. And he railed on him.
He railed on him. He disrespected David. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
But the men were very good unto us, and we were not hurt, neither missed we anything, as long as we were conversing with them when we were in the field.
She's like, man, the men were very good to us. She told them all what they all did. Go ahead.
They were, verse 16, they were a wall unto us both by night and day. All the while we were with them keeping the sheep.
So he kept a wall of protection around his whole family. That's what David did for Nabal. Nabal didn't understand why he was so safe there. Go ahead. 17.
Now therefore know and consider what thou wilt do. For evil is determined against our master and against all his household. For he is such a son of Belial that a man cannot speak to him.
Son of an idol or a devil, Belial. Can't speak to him in mind closed. But look what Abigail did. Go ahead.
18. Then Abigail made haste and took 200 loaves and 2 bottles of wine and 5 sheep ready dressed and 5 measures of parched corn and 100 clusters of raisins and 200 cakes of figs and laid them on asses.
I wonder where she get that merchandise from. She'll probably up there to Walmart. She had her own stuff. She came with her merch, as they say today. Merchandise. She had it. She's like, man, we going up here and talk to David. Cause they ball about to get us all killed. Go ahead.
19. And she said unto her servant, go on before me. Behold, I come after you. But she told not her husband Nabal.
She knew not to tell him. He was crazy. Go ahead.
And it was so, as she rode on the ass, that she came down by the covert of the hill. And behold, David and his men came down against her, and she met them.
They were riding, boy. He about to do some damage. He met her. He okay, let me see what she gonna say. Go ahead.
Now David had said, surely in vain have I kept all that this fellow hath in the wilderness.
Yes, sir.
So that nothing was missed of all that pertained unto him. And he hath requited me evil for good.
He gonna disrespect me like that? I done did all this stuff for him. I done protect him, make sure ain't nobody hurt anything on this land. Go ahead.
22. So and more also do God unto the enemies of David, if I leave of all that pertains to him by the morning light, any that pisseth against the wall.
No, David said, I'm gonna kill everybody before morning here. Any man that pisses on the wall, I'm gonna kill them all. Abigail knew the power of David. She went and talked to him. She knew it when to talk to him because she had to save her family. She had to make sure that she didn't have a bad economy because David was gonna make it a bad economy. Go ahead.
23. And when Abigail saw David, she hasted and lighted off the ass and fell before David on her face and bowed herself to the ground.
Showing some respect here. Go ahead.
And fell at his feet and said, upon me, my Lord, upon me let this iniquity be. And let thine handmaid, I pray thee, speak in thine audience and hear the words of thine handmaid.
He's like, listen to me, please. Because he was mounted up armed and ready to go wreak havoc on this on this little small little land that Nabal had. She said, hear me, please, David, hear me. So go ahead.
25. Let not my Lord, I pray thee, regard this man of Belial, even Nabal. For as his name is, so is he. Nabal is his name, and folly is with him. But I, thine handmaid, saw not the young men of my Lord, whom thou didst send.
This is a very wise lady. Her husband was foolish. He had a lot of money. He wasn't trying to do nothing of the Lord. If he understood God, he would understand that the lineage of David. He would understand that David is God, apple of God's eye. But this man right here, he said, forget it. I ain't giving David nothing. But he had a good, virtuous woman. Abigail, she came with all these merchandise and she offered it to him. And David listened. Go ahead.
26. Now therefore, my Lord, as the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, seeing the Lord hath withholden thee from coming to shed blood, and from avenging thyself with thine own hand, now let thine enemies, and they that seek evil to my Lord, be as Nabal.
Go ahead.
And now this blessing which thine handmaid hath brought unto my Lord, let it even be given unto the young men that follow my Lord.
She brought a piece off of her and get something to the men. Brought enough. This woman know how to work it. Go ahead.
28. I pray thee, forgive the trespass of thine handmaid. For the Lord will certainly make my Lord a sure house, because my Lord fighteth the battles of the Lord, and evil hath not been found in thee all thy days.
Giving all respect. She understand who David is. Go ahead.
Yet a man is risen to pursue thee and to seek thy soul. But the soul of my Lord shall be bound in the bundle of life with the Lord thy God. And the souls of thine enemies, them shall he sling out as out of the middle of a sling.
Yes, sir. Jump down to verse 32. Go ahead. This is what Abigail is doing. She trying to make peace. You don't need no righteous woman on your side. You need a woman that's going to have a sensible head. And you know what, men, we get in the point where we get kind of rowdy. You know what I'm saying? We don't need our woman pumping us up when we about to take down the whole household. We need our woman to come and tell, hey, calm down, let's talk about this. And that's what Abigail did. She didn't want no bad economy on her land. On Nabal and her husband's land, she trying to make sure David don't come down there and kill every male in there. 32.
And David said to Abigail, blessed be the Lord God of Israel, which sent thee this day to me.
Yes, sir.
And blessed be thy advice. And
Blessed be what?
Blessed be thy advice.
He listened to her. She had good advice. Women, you gotta have some good advice when dealing with a man in power like that. Be able to talk him down. Go ahead.
And blessed be thy advice, and blessed be thou, which has kept me this day from coming to shed blood, and from avenging myself with my own hand.
She saved the whole house. Go ahead.
For in very deed, as the Lord God of Israel liveth, which hath kept me back from hurting thee.
From what?
From hurting thee. Except thou hadst hasted and come to meet me, surely there had not been left unto Nabal by the morning light any that pisseth against the wall.
He said they're going to kill all men. That's what he said. That's what they do. They go to the towns or the countries and kill all the men and take the women and make them either slaves or handmaids or whatever it is, or concubines. This is what it does, what they do. Go ahead.
35. So David received of her hand that which she had brought him, and said unto her, go up in peace to thine house. See, I have hearkened to thy voice, and have accepted thy person.
Go ahead, peace. I accept what you're saying. I accept your offer. Good woman. Go ahead.
And Abigail came to Nabal, and behold, he held a feast in his house, like the feast of a king.
They just around here party. Abigail up there handling business, trying to make sure that this David don't come down there and kill all the men. He having a feast. He having a party. He ain't get this man crazy. Go ahead.
He held a feast in his house like the feast of a king. And Nabal's heart was merry within him, for he was very drunken. Wherefore she told him nothing, less or more, until the morning light.
She didn't tell him that until the morning, because you know he was drunk. But she gonna tell him, go ahead.
But it came to pass in the morning, when the wine was gone out of Nabal, and his wife had told him these things, that his heart died within him, and he became as a stone.
This joker had a heart attack. God killed him right then. Died. Like you say, women, don't worry about the man mistreating you. God will take care of him if he mistreated you. Just like he took care of Nabal. Go ahead.
38. And it came to pass about 10 days after that the Lord smote Nabal, that he died.
I told the Lord, kill us now, and he make it alive. Go ahead.
And when David heard that Nabal was dead, he said, Blessed be the Lord, that hath pleaded the cause of my reproach from the hand of Nabal, and hath kept his servant from evil. For the Lord hath returned the wickedness of Nabal upon his own head. And David sent and communed with Abigail to take her to him to wife.
They forgot about that pretty Abigail. Said, come on, I'm finna take you for my wife. She got signed up in a better position, in a bad situation or a bad economy. God killed Nabal, she was free. Go marry anybody who she wanted to marry. Go ahead.
Verse 40. And when the servants of Nabal were come to Abigail to Carmel, they spake unto her, saying, David sent us unto thee to take thee to him to wife.
Oh, she had servants too. They following her. She wise. You gotta have some wisdom you're gonna lead. If women gonna lead women, you gotta have some wisdom of this book. Go ahead.
And she arose and bowed herself on her face to the earth and said, Behold, let thine handmaid be a servant to wash the feet of the servants of my Lord.
She said, let them handmaids come in and do some work for you. Go ahead.
And Abigail hasted and arose and rode upon an ass with 5 damsels of hers that went after her. And she went after the messengers of David and became his wife.
So he signed up. Became his wife at the time. Nabal was dead. But I just want people to understand, in this situation right here, you got to understand, in a bad economy, you got to have the man right, the woman right. Everybody got to be on the same accord, which is by this book. And these examples are put here so we can know how to operate. Amen. Instead of fighting against each other. We go, in this bad economy, you need everybody pulling together. You don't know how this thing going to run. So we're going to end off that. That's the last one.
Yes, sir.
We're going to end off that. Just want everybody to understand. Just get together with yourself. Go write some stuff down. And figure out what you're going to do.
Amen.
Figure out what you're going to do. You know your gift. I don't know it. Find it and perfect it. Work on it. It can be something simple. But you got to have many streams in this economy right here in order to keep going. You're going to take up the offering. If you got anything to give, the offering over there. I'll read the announcements. Get out top too bad, though. You can say or listen to it. There's a lot in there, man. It's a lot. It's a lot. Go ahead, brother.
Here at the House of Israel, we have a dress code. Men and boys, no tank tops, flip-flops, shorts, muscle shirts, sagging pants, hats, ripped jeans, and slides. Women and girls, no slides, tank tops, halter tops, low-cut blouses, leggings, bodysuits, ripped jeans, no cleavage showing, no bra straps showing, no short skirts or dresses. Be mindful of your dresses and skirts because when you sit down, they can come up and show your thighs. This can be a distraction from the lesson. There will be no cross-dressing. Men should not wear women clothing, nor women wearing men clothing. If this happens, you will be asked to leave until you can dress appropriately. Romans 12:1. Present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. Cell phones and tablets. If you are using one during the lesson, please make sure you are not on anything that isn't pertaining to the lesson. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, etc. Baptism reminder.
Yes, sir. You all get baptized, let me know. You going to stand and close out? You got anything you want to add? DLC, everybody? Are we going to face the rule?
Our Father which art in heaven,
Our Father which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done in
Thy will be done in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread.
our daily bread.